Hey Ian, I hope you are good. Thank you for your check-in. Thanks for getting to me on time. Hope you had a lovely week. It seems like you've had a bit of a mixed week. Like you've been busy with work, but it actually seems like you've had a very positive week. Like I feel like you're one of the few clients. It's not with everyone, but with a handful of you, I can kind of read your tone in an email. I feel like I understand the sort of psyche of you a few more than others. Some people write fuck all in their emails still, but for those of you who do write in your emails, I feel like there's a handful of you I can kind of tune in to feel a little bit more in tune with how you're feeling about your week. Seems like you had quite a positive email. Feel quite good about it. I certainly felt quite chuffed reading it. Good use of the word chums, by the way, underused word. I'm very impressed, mate, and just happy to see you kind of enjoying things. What I will say before I get into my notes is that one thing I've noticed is that so this week's been in terms of your photographs, I can see a difference, and I feel like in terms of your measurements, clearly there's a difference. We can see that it's like objectively there is a difference, but subjectively your photographs, I see a difference. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I would say is if we could continue just another wee period of consistency there, a handful of weeks, you could really see a big difference. Like you're one of those guys that's. And I'm not trying to take away any of the emphasis on your hard work because you know that that's not the case. But you're one of those guys, kind of like myself, that you're genetically quite blessed in terms of the shape of your body. There's nothing people can do about their muscle belly sizes, length of their torso, shape of their pecs, shape of their shoulders. You have a very, very aesthetically pleasing shape, which makes life easier. You also have one of those bodies that will naturally lose weight in the right places, so you can start to see serratus under your ribs. I have no idea if you can see my hand the way down there, under here, just beneath your pec. You just have one of those bodies that will respond quite well to a fat loss phase. Now, I'll come back to all this in a minute. So this week been much better. Very, very happy with how things are going. I'm guessing that your chili discovery, the mega protein chili, has helped significantly with your protein increase because the protein increase has been significant. You can see here 46 grams more per day on average, which takes you to exactly where we need to be. Like that 200 grams is kind of like the holy grail for someone of your size. You're very light, but you should be able to, your gut should be able to handle it. And as we can see, digestive stress coming in at a straight zero, no problems. So clearly from a digestibility standpoint, excellent. What that will do in terms of calories is that even if your calories baseline the same, we're eating less carbohydrate on average, therefore we should be able to burn more fat, so we should be in a good place. So very well done on the protein front. Very, very impressed. I think realistically just do what I do and just kick the arse out of eating mints. Like I eat so much fucking mints you wouldn't believe. But the 5% stuff is cheap and it's easy. The other one to get that's quite nice, you got to eat more of it though, is the one from Tesco's that's got like carrots through it. Goes a bit further. You can eat more if you're really, really hungry one week. But the protein count is obviously lower per 100 grams naturally because it has other shit in it. Like I said, looking at the photos, I can really see a difference, but more specifically in your torso shape. So that's moving nicely. Very happy with how things appear to be going there, Ian. Long-term thinking, kind of in that headspace with all clients today, which is a good place to be. I've got a good bit more clarity and headspace on kind of a lot of things this week, which gives me more opportunity to kind of open my brain up to, right, cool, rather than just week to week this week, let's discuss with a few key clients where we're going long term. And with you, I'd love to put you into a small calorie surplus long term and work on a controlled sort of what the industry would call them. I suppose I don't mind the term lean bulk. Within that lean bulk, intermittent planned mini cuts. So what that would do is effectively allow us to add some lean muscle tissue whilst not gaining much or any fat, and any that we did gain we could pull off in mini cuts and then push on again. So effectively your muscle mass would do like that, dip a little, like that, dip a little, you can see. So naturally with any surplus you go into, there will be an element of fat gain. It just comes with the territory. There's not an awful lot we can do to control it other than keeping you in a smaller surplus, control the size of the surplus, and then on top of that, work on keeping you sort of active and making your food set selection good and making sure that your macro split favors not just like not carbs for the sake of carbs, and everyone's capacity for digesting carbs and using them in the right places will be different. So for you, for example, we would find out, and I would start to, with that, Iain, I would start to partition carbohydrates around your workout, be a little bit more anal about where they go in terms of like after your workout, you should have consumed X grams of carbohydrate and X grams of protein, start to give you a bit more structure about actual specificity. Just because obviously if we're going to try and stay lean during a bulk, there's more to go wrong in terms of like, if you start to get a bit lazy with it, you could start to just eat shit carbs and at the wrong times. You can see how that can go wrong. But I think your body would respond very well to it. And it'd be interesting to see what your body fat does, because it wouldn't be the first time that I've put someone into a surplus, done this sort of lean bulk with the mini cuts, and they've ended up losing body fat, because bear in mind, body fat's sort of given as a percentage of total body weight. So naturally, if we increase muscle mass relative to the same amount of fat, then your body fat percentage actually decreases, because it's given as a percentage relevant to your muscle mass. So your lean mass versus your fat mass. Lean mass increases, this stays the same, therefore you have more of this to this, less of this overall, less as a percentage. So we can actually make you slightly leaner and hold a bit more muscle. Now, I don't imagine you want to be a big muscle-bound chap, but I mean, I'm not a big guy. I am 13 kilos heavier than you right now, albeit like we are different individuals entirely. But I don't, I need to I'm just offering you some mental comfort that it's not, I'm not like, all right, Iain, let's get fucking massive. As you can see from all my social media, that's not my bag with anyone or myself. But I still do think that the more muscle you can carry on your frame, the more longevity you have in terms of like health in life. Like muscle mass is undoubtedly good for you, and because of muscle mass, I think it's after 30, it's like, or 40. I'm making facts up, but the overlying principle remains the same. Let's call it 40. After 40, it's like 1% per year muscle loss. Just that's how humans function. So what we need to do is try to gain some to offset that, because you can gain more than 1% a year. So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts. I felt like it's kind of at the right time, week 20, to have a sort of more generic overview of where are we going, what are we doing. I think right now there's a few more weeks. If we can see what we've done this week, if you can replicate that and push that into another few weeks, we can get that a little bit leaner. I'm determined to get you with some abs, like visible, because they're visible here and the top is kind of coming in. But I feel like you're that guy. It's like you're like knocking on the door. Like I'm not going to use his name, so it's not unfair. The guy I've just checked in, we're at about a year. He's been on board for. We've kind of done bulks, we've done cuts, we've gone through a lot of different phases. He's responded very well to them all. So this time he's decided he wants to go for a cut and go to like the wire, take it right down. And I don't know what's going on, but we just can't get his abs to come out. Like, he just won't happen. He's got like a top set and nothing else. And I'm like throwing solutions at the problem. But with you, I feel like it's right there and I can see it, and so I almost touch it. So I'm like, let's do it. I don't want to get you so lean that you start to have a shit quality of life, but I'd do that a little bit leaner and then start to put on some muscle mass. I feel like if we start to put on some muscle mass and put you in a surplus, you're going to feel happier because you've got that little bit extra food and carbohydrate. You've got like a nice, it's quite nice to go to the gym with the idea of like, cool, I'm in a surplus and I'm trying to gain some muscle, so I'm going to train with some real intensity and really buckle down and get on with less supersets and more just like really battering out on one machine and just going to failure. It's quite a nice thing. It's not something you and I have ever really done. So that's my thoughts, Iain. Feedback to me, let me know where you're at. No problem with you having workouts at the weekend and then in the morning before work. That's fine. That's how I've got to do it. I feel your pain. Self-employment, right? It's just the way it goes. But yeah, looking forward to hearing from you, mate. Any questions? You know where I'm at. Speak to you soon. Cheers, yeah.